Hi there. Welcome to Hope, honoring ourselves purposefully every day. I'm your host, Deb Bartok. This is our second episode on the topic of grief and loss, something I've learned a lot about through personal experience this past year. Grief often triggers a wide range of different and unexpected emotions and fluctuations. We know there's no right way to grieve, but there are certainly ways to help the process. On today's episode, we are going to learn about ways we can support ourselves emotionally and physically during grief. We're going to talk about the 3 C's of grief, along with the myths and misconceptions. So stay tuned. We have a great show ahead. Trauma is not what happens to you, but what you hold inside in the absence of an empathetic witness. Hi, I'm here with Mark Petersen, a psychotherapist who's going to talk to us tonight about some of his therapies, the modalities he's using. One in particular, A.R.T, Accelerated Resolution Therapy. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Deb.
Sure nice to have you here.
Yeah, likewise.
I'm really excited to learn more from you about this.
You know, I have a long history, I guess, in social work and therapy and counseling, and worked with a lot of different groups of people. Mm-hmm. And I got licensed about 4 years ago.
Okay. As
a Canadian clinical counselor. And I started studying all the different modalities, and it's a bit overwhelming because there's 400 or so.
Right.
Counseling modalities, and they all claim to be very helpful, and some are very helpful.
400?
Something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, and so I started learning about solution-focused brief therapy. So I heard about people that were in counseling for decades, and that kind of bothered me. And so I got trained in solution-focused, and I thought there was maybe more that I could be doing, and studied cognitive behavior a little bit, and then got attracted to the eye movement. You know, I have friends who do EMDR, and that's eye movement work to process trauma and other type of issues, and it's very fascinating and very helpful.
Right.
And but then I learned about kind of a new modality since 2009 anyway, called A.R.T, Accelerated Resolution Therapy, or ART therapy, not using paints or stencils. And so I decided to get trained in that.
Wow.
Yeah, several years ago.
Right. How long was the training?
Well, I took the basic training. It sounds like military, but and I finished that, and then I did 30 sessions, and then I actually about almost 50 sessions. Then I got the advanced training, A.R.T training.
Okay. Well, so this episode is about grief and loss. Mm-hmm. How can you help somebody that maybe is stuck in their grief? And I know that the word trauma is often associated with this work, right? And
yeah. Well, you know, grief is a type of trauma, right? Yeah. It negatively affects us, and if after a year you're still really grieving, it becomes more complicated, and it is a type of loss, you know, and it's a lot of times there's images attached with the trauma of loss, or sensations that come up which we can't really get over ourselves.
Right.
And then through the eye movement and the different scripts that I use and my intuition, we're able to reprocess the grief or the trauma.
Okay.
And process the sensations attached to the actual events, or the way we feel.
Right.
You know, typical everyday issues that we have that we don't like. So.
Yeah, triggers, I guess.
And the triggers,
that come up, and right.
So, There's a basic script that I use, and there's a bunch of other ones. And I've noticed that most people, once they work through that loss using the eye movement, do feel better.
Okay, I guess they feel just a relief.
A relief, a release, yeah.
Are they going deep into those emotions while they're visualizing and
yeah, we'll see what comes up. We'll do a body scan as they move the eyes, and then we'll process each negative sensations out. And most people will feel those negative sensations in their stomach, their chest, or their brain, or sometimes in their extremities. Mm-hmm. And we can process that out and then reconsolidate any memories that are attached to it. Mm. So we're essentially doing two main things in the session.
Right. And I've heard that it's not required that you tell your story over and over again like you often do in therapy. And so Are you doing most of the talking and we're just answering the questions, yes or no, or how you feel? Or
if we're doing an A.R.T. session, mm-hmm. then there won't be too much talking on the part of the client.
Okay.
Which is different. Mm-hmm. It was different for me because I like to talk. Right. I like talk therapy, conventional talk therapy.
You want to tell your story. You want to get it out.
And I like to mm-hmm. use all the micro skills needed that therapists mm-hmm. use, and those can be very effective as well. But using the A.R.T., the client won't be talking much. Mm-hmm. They will be processing.
Okay. So do they have their eyes open or closed?
Open, yeah.
Open?
Yeah.
Sometimes do they close them? Do you have them close them and
no.
Concentrate on that image?
No.
No?
No. They'll be following my hand using the bilateral movement mm-hmm. to see the images and to replace the images.
Right. Are you comfortable just showing me for maybe a 2-minute?
Sure, yeah.
Just heal me quick, Mark. Heal me quick.
Yeah, I could kind of demonstrate.
So I'd be sitting here.
Yeah, and I would kind of square up to you and mm-hmm. judge your comfort level, how close you want my hand. Mm. This is kind of how far I like it if I was you. But some people here
okay.
Can only be slightly above your brow, and each set is about 40 of these for an adult. Okay, so that's 5.
Do you have muscles in that arm? Do you use just that arm?
Once in a while, I'll need to switch to my left.
Right.
Because this one feels like it's going to fall off. Depending how much the person needs. Mm-hmm. But each set is about 40, and for children, it's about 20. Teenagers, maybe 30. I kind of just see how fast the person processes and what they need.
And I'd have to have my eyes open for that because you're moving your hand and I'm following. Is that what I'm doing?
You're following. You're not moving your. Not moving your head. You're just moving your eyes.
Just my eyes.
You're getting both sides of the brain connected.
Right.
Your creative side and the factual side working together.
Mm-hmm. So what's the advantage of this? I know there's a shorter time for healing, isn't there?
Well, sure, there is.
Usually.
And they say 1 to 5 sessions is all that a person will need. Mm-hmm. And in my experience, that's pretty accurate. Mm-hmm. Sometimes 1 for even big traumatic events is all they need. Wow. But sometimes more.
Is there an experience you can share with us without mentioning people or names or specific stories?
Sure, there's quite a few. Yeah. People who have suffered, horrendous abuse as children.
Okay.
And one particular guy, it was a very long session. And I think we worked on several events in successive sessions, a few weeks apart. Mm-hmm. And the third session, he said, I don't drink anymore or smoke up. Mm. I'm like, oh, that's cool, because we never even talked about that. He says, I just don't need it.
Right.
So we worked on the trauma, and then some of the substance use just kind of faded away, wasn't needed.
Wow.
And when I reflected on that, knowing that 3 to 5% of people, once they go to detox, actually succeed in their sobriety first time.
Yeah.
And we were able to do that in a few sessions, not even focusing on the sobriety.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, wow, okay, so we got to the underlying issue.
Yeah, and that's, you
The trauma.
The sooner that you can get to that trauma,
Yeah.
you know, I think about a dear family member who, you know, overdosed and dealt with drug abuse for a lot of his teenage life until, you know, just one bad night. And I just think, wow, something like that might have just been able to get in there. And so it's really valuable.
Probably could. You know, I've helped people that have been in automobile accidents, medical trauma, all sorts of abuse. A lot of it's just things that they keep hearing in their mind, things they heard as children from a parent or from a peer or a teacher.
Oh, definitely.
That they believed some of these negative things, and we're able to work through that and replace that story with images that are positive.
Right.
So when they look back to that event, they don't remember. They know it happened.
Yeah.
The factual story is there, but there's no negative emotion attached to it in the brain or in the body.
It's just a concept. It's not real.
Yeah, the perspectives.
Right?
They'll never have to see or feel the same way about it again.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, with my work with dealing with shifting and changing limiting beliefs, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
To know and realize that there's something going on in your subconscious that you probably have no idea of that started at a young age.
That's right.
The triggers, do you ever ask yourself, okay, why do I keep coming back to this? Why the patterns? What's going on? Right? There's probably something triggering you deep down that you don't even realize.
That's right. A lot of what we do is automatic. You know, 95% of what we do is it's just our
Reactive.
subconscious.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can do things when we sleep with our brain. Our eyes flicker really fast and with a rapid eye movement. And that's helpful, you know, like that sleep, the dream state. And so when we do that consciously with the eye movement, follow my hand, we're able to induce that same part of the brain. You know, we're working mostly in the amygdala, where where our emotions are stored, and memory.
Yeah. So how would you help somebody that's stuck in their grief, that maybe is just, quite traumatized by, whether it's been over a year or not, like maybe it was a devastating circumstances or tragic or...
Well, I would have them I'd do a body scan, and then we would check to see where they're feeling it, right? Because emotions are trapped somewhere.
So a body scan is just asking them where they're feeling.
Where you're feeling
Where you're feeling.
Yeah, and then we would start with that and get the person used to the eye movements, and then you can move sensation. And we move that initially, and then I'd have them see or remember the incident or the first time they felt that, because sometimes you might have had someone pass away recently, but you could have had someone pass away or felt a loss or abandonment before that, and maybe we need to
all
start
triggering into
at
the
that
same
point.
belief. Yeah.
Maybe there's a story that we can attach and process it all.
Right. Yeah.
So we can do that, working on single incidents or separate incidents that we put together and process out, or just a typical day when you're feeling that way.
Right. It sounds like it's something that just couldn't hurt to do it, no matter how deep the trauma, how big the trauma, right? Something that can help you to...
And sometimes the bigger the trauma, because that's very concrete, with images usually, that are easy to see and sensations that you feel,
remember.
It's almost easier to work on that. It's very straightforward. Things that a lot of therapists say you might need to be in therapy for years for.
Right.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Wow, that's good news, isn't it?
Yeah. For most people, this will help.
There is that kind of thinking, stigma, that once you start therapy, you know, that's you have a therapist, always.
Yes.
Right? And so that's not necessarily, you're not in here for a long relationship. You're not in this for a long relationship with your clients. You really want to see them healed. And
Well, Debbie, I'm uncomfortable with that stigma
yeah,
that attached to therapy. And, there's a lot of money involved. Like, therapy sessions are getting more and more expensive.
right.
Someone could pay up to $250 for a session.
Yeah.
And so I try to keep the cost down within insurance rates, or if you don't have insurance, more of a sliding scale,
Right.
just to help people.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I feel strongly about that.
I've sensed that in knowing you. And we knew each other up north. And for a little while you lived there, but you've been in and out. I know your brother really well, right? And sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And so I know you're a good man and caring and honest, and that you have people's best interests at heart. And that is good. It's wonderful.
Thank you. What I'm loving lately is how well it works virtually.
Yeah,
And And the founder really doesn't like the virtual aspect, but it's just a world we live in. And if you can focus on my hand and move your eyes over the screen, it will work.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't need to see the rest of your body language.
Right.
I just need to see that your eyes are moving and tracking.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good thing in this day and age.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us besides how anyone out there can get a hold of you, get in touch with you? We will put it on the screen, but...
Yeah. Probably the easiest way is just through Psychology Today, Mark Petersen. Looks like there's only one of me on there that I see. And I'm in Alberta. Okay. But licensed throughout most provinces.
Right.
Except for...
Okay, so virtually...
Yeah. Virtually, yeah.
You can work with almost anybody in Canada.
Yeah, right now I'm seeing people in Alberta, Saskatchewan, British Columbia.
Oh, good.
Manitoba, right? So it's been good. Yeah, I work right now in the school system and then do after hours work and weekends. So
great.
It's been amazing.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun.
Appreciate you and appreciate all that we've learned on this.
Okay, take
episode.
care.
Okay. There is healing in our stories. Say their name. Keep talking. Continue sharing. I'm happy to introduce my good friend, Karen Condie, who has agreed to come and share her story with us, her personal experience with grief and loss.
Hi, I'm Karen Condie, and I'd like to just share a little bit about how I have learned to cope with grief in the past 7 years. I lost my beautiful spouse back in 2018, one of the most difficult experiences I have had to go through. It was hard finding my footing for a very long time. What I found in the beginning that I started to do was to sleep a lot and to kind of numb myself out. And I knew that that wasn't the answer. So I turned to some of the old things that used to make me feel good that I did with my spouse. And one of those things was listening to Christian music. And the beautiful thing about this was that it led me back to God. And the one thing that has helped me the most in my journey through grief has been building a relationship with Jesus Christ. And He has led me to key people in my life that I have been able to rely on to help me through my grief. Talking through the grief has also helped. But I think in dealing with the grief, what has been most important is to just allow myself the freedom to feel the grief, to feel all the emotions, to feel the anger, to process it and not deny myself any of those feelings. And even when I felt joy, to not feel guilty about that. And when I felt the need to get out and go exercise, I would do that. But keeping a journal was very instrumental for me also, an emotional journal and a dream journal. Just writing down all of my thoughts and my feelings, getting it all out so that it wasn't just sitting inside, stewing in there and building up. And so, but the more that I leaned on Jesus Christ, I think the more I was able to hand over to Him all that grief and all that pain and all those feelings of how I could live without ever seeing her again on this earth. And recently I have just lost my mother. And this process has been a much different process because I feel like I have steps already in place that have helped me. I have friends, I have a network of supportive people that I can call upon to go over and talk with and to have a good cry with and to share with them and to listen to what they want to share with me to help me through and feel better, or to sometimes just sit and cry and have those people sit with me in silence. And so I think there's no wrong way to grieve. I really believe there isn't. It's different for everyone. And I think it's important, I found it was important that you allow yourself the freedom to do whatever feels right for your heart and for your experience and your situation. And it's going to look different for everyone. And there's no time frame. And so if getting out in nature works for you, that is a beautiful thing. For me, it really was centered a lot on reading my scriptures and attending church and listening to a lot of beautiful hymns and getting a lot of love from my cats. That was very special for me and very healing. And also I decided to pack up and move back to where I was near my mother and just reestablish a relationship with her. And that was very healing for me as well. So the hurt, I don't think, ever truly goes away. The pain is always there, but it gets less and less intense as the years go on. And it turns into more of a sweet, sweet pain. And I can remember the good memories more and more.
Grief is love with nowhere to go. For my wellness journey today, I want to talk about the 3 C's of grief, which I've recently learned about and have been implementing. Choose, connect, and communicate. They serve as essential tools navigating the complex emotions that accompany loss. These principles provide a framework for managing the grief process, empowering individuals to regain a sense of control and stability during a time when life feels anything but stable. The 3 C's guide you through the emotional challenges of grief by encouraging intentional choices, fostering connections, and promoting open communication. Integrating these principles into your daily life creates a supportive environment that aids in healing and personal growth. Which is why I walk with a friend early in the morning, rain or shine, wind or calm, and now snow. Good morning. I'm here with Val Thomson, my neighbor and friend, and early morning walking buddy. It is pretty early, isn't it? Especially for Saturday morning. It's a Saturday morning today, and we are going to go on a 1 hour, it's about an hour, isn't it? 7 kilometers?
Just a little
bit after.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is going to be a part of the 3 C's of grief segment, which is choose, connect, and communicate. And so we are choosing to get out of our warm beds this morning and going out and moving our bodies, which of course is mood enhancing, which helps when we're going through grief. Of course, we know that moving our bodies, especially during times when we're not feeling like it, actually is mood enhancing. Val, would you like to pipe in here? So Val is a nutritional health coach. So we're putting this into our coach's corner. And Val, would you like to pipe in there? What does moving do for us?
Moving is medicine, along with so many other lifestyle choices, and so yeah, it's just good for your joints, good for your mind, good for everything. It enhances creativity and just gets you in a good space.
Yeah, in a better mood.
Yeah,
which is sometimes what we need. And then of course the connect is when we connect with people, we're not isolating ourselves, which we tend to want to do when we're feeling down or experiencing grief. And then communication. And Val and I, we have lots of wonderful conversations that enlighten and support and help. And we talked in the last episode, about pendulation and how important pendulating in and out of our grief feelings is. And so we can talk as much as we want to or not. And as long as we are going into our feelings and coming out of them on a regular basis as we move through grief.
yeah, and finding someone to walk with is so important. Like, I walk by myself if I need to because I love walking, but walking with someone even sometimes, but having that, like when I know Deb's waiting for me at 7 a.m. I'm always gonna do it, but other times if it's just me, it's like, I don't feel like it, and just
this is so true.
The communication, just we talk about anything.
Yeah, we do.
And it goes
We
here, it
do.
goes there, but it just is getting out of myself and sharing with a good friend.
So true. So true. Okay, so we're going to start our walk. And as you can see in the background, the sun is starting to rise.
Yay.
So there's stars over here, but there's
Nice
sunrise
crescent moon
coming.
over there.
Oh, yes, beautiful. I probably can't see it, no. All right, and we'll check in on when we get back. We're back. How do we feel?
Great, of course.
Great. Yeah, it's always worth it. My sister and I were talking last week, and she said, Deb, you know what? No matter what, I always feel better if I get up and do it. And,
Absolutely.
And we sure do. Well, Val, thanks for being my walking partner.
Yes.
Sure enjoy it. We had a wonderful conversation again, communication and connection, and we chose to do it, and we'll choose to do it again.
We will. Rain or shine, Cardston winters, we'll
goodness.
still try to get out.
It was a little chilly this morning. We had hoods up
Yes.
for a while,
Yeah.
but it was
It was the same temperature as yesterday, but windy.
windy. Yeah, and that wind makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Especially in southern Alberta.
Yeah. It does.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Over and out. Grief is often misunderstood. These misconceptions can place pressure on people to grieve in socially acceptable ways, often suppressing authentic expression. Today on Coach's Corner, I'm going to speak a few minutes about some of those grief myths. First, the myth of grief stages. I've learned in my own experience this past year that grief is not linear. Emotions may come in wave cycles or remain dormant for years before resurfacing. I like to use metaphors like spirals or tides to explain the experiences of grief. Second, the myth of time healing all wounds. When we hear or give advice like give it time, there's an assumption that grief naturally fades. While the intensity may decrease, grief often transforms rather than disappears. We may revisit our grief on birthdays, anniversaries, or life milestones, even decades later. Time does not heal so much as provide space for integration and adaptation to the loss. I'm going through a lot of firsts right now. The first birthday, first Thanksgiving, soon the first Christmas. Third, the myth of moving on. It would seem that there is a cultural pressure to move on, which implies that grief has an end point. This myth can provoke shame in those who continue to feel connected to the deceased. We can find healing not in detachment, but in creating new forms of relationship with the person who died. The concept of continuing bonds honors an ongoing emotion and spiritual connection with the deceased. I have a family member who, after losing his young son, has struggled, of course. His daughter, wanting to comfort him, had some of his son's clothes made into a bear, a teddy bear. Sometimes he takes that bear along with him as company. It helps him feel his dear son is close, because the very clothes he wore are close, and in the form of this sweet little comfort bear. Fourth, the myth of grief universality. While the experience of loss is universal, its expression is not. Grief is shaped by culture, gender language, and belief systems. Assuming a single normal grief response overlooks these vital differences. Some cultures emphasize emotional restraint, others value communal mourning. And grief rituals, which can range from quiet altars to multi-day festivals. Understanding how our background shapes our grief is important and is often influenced by our culture. Fifth, the myth of grief as depression. Grief and depression may overlap in symptoms, including sadness, withdrawal, sleep disruption, but they are distinct. Grief is a natural, adaptive response to loss. Depression is a clinical condition that may require medical or psychological intervention. Grieving individuals may still experience joy, humor, or connection, even amidst sorrow. It's when the one grieving becomes severely impaired or grief becomes frozen or isolating that it may be more than just grief. Many modalities can be used in helping us in our grieving, such as movement, using music or without, journaling, grounding, breathwork, imagery, All these and more can contribute to better healing. As I move through my process after losing 4 beloved members of our family, I find many of these modalities helpful, especially allowing myself time to heal, offering myself that grace. But it is also important to understand what it is we're going through. And if we find ourselves isolating, disconnected, completely depressed, and disoriented, we may need extra help. It's out there. In the credits at the end of the show, I'll attach some links and phone numbers. Your mental health is a priority. Welcome back. Now I have a special guest who is going to talk about a different kind of loss, a loss of sight, something she experienced at a young age. Lisa Quackenbush, welcome.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. Well, let's start out having you tell us exactly where your sight is at right now.
Okay, I have a condition called Stargardt's, which means it affects my whole retina. I have all the parts in my retina, but I lack the ability to keep it healthy and alive, so it's degenerated over the years. So currently I am I've been considered legally blind, so I don't see out of the center. And then my peripheral vision is a bit fuzzy because recently, as of last year, I learned that I was nearsighted, so things are a bit fuzzy.
Oh.
They used to be clearer, so.
Is that genetic?
Yes.
Is your condition genetic?
Yes, it's a recessive genetic gene, so both my mother and father were carriers, and when they connected and had me, then it activated the gene, so.
Right. Yeah. When did you first notice a change in your sight? Let's go way back, right? This goes way back.
It does, yeah. So I was in 3rd grade when I needed glasses.
Okay.
And my grade 3 teacher, she had glasses, and so she helped me feel more comfortable with that, which was amazing for that. And then I only needed them for a couple of years, and then I didn't need to wear glasses after that. And then between my 7th grade year, for my 7th grade year, I noticed changes, but my doctor didn't notice changes.
Okay.
Because I sat at the back of the class and ended up at the front and still couldn't see the dry erase boards or the overhead projectors at school.
Sorry, did you know by that time, had you been diagnosed?
No.
Did you think that your eyes were fixed, or were you expecting further regression?
There was always a chance. My older sister has Stargardt's, and she got the diagnosis when she was 8 years old.
Oh, I see.
And so we knew that there was a potential that maybe I would, but we weren't sure. So
you were hopeful.
I was hopeful that it just was glasses, but yeah.
So you found out around grade 7 that it wasn't going away, that it was something you were going to have to deal with on an ongoing basis. How did that feel at such a young age?
It was a little sad, but more hopeful, because I thought, well, okay, good. My older sister already figured out the resources. I'm going to be just fine.
Oh, good.
And I'll figure it out. I was kind of in that hopeful denial, like, we got this.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't a lot of grieving at that time?
No, not at that time. I mean, I did face, it really kind of started, I'd have to say the day that I was officially diagnosed was around Christmas time in 1999 when I got my official diagnosis.
Right.
And then we went Christmas caroling that night, and so I couldn't sustain my joy of, my usual Christmas caroling with friends and family, and my mother did send me back to the car that night. She's like, I don't know what your problem is, but go back to the car.
Oh, okay.
And it's nighttime and dark, and it's a good thing I remembered where the car was, you know.
Right.
Especially not being, you know,
Right.
haven't connected with the resources yet, just.
Yeah. And so
yeah.
how did that feel to know that people didn't really understand what you were going through, because you hardly understood?
Yeah, I hardly understood. And I mean, I watched my friends become awkward around me. I would follow them in school like a lost puppy dog. Like, I don't know what to do, and they didn't know what to do.
Right.
I felt ostracized from people, even though I knew it was their, they had no idea.
Right.
And I didn't know how to communicate that.
Because it's probably something you were told as a coping mechanism, right? You were told those things, but you still have such deep feelings, and they're changing all the time. You don't even really understand what you're feeling and going through. How can others?
Yeah, it's true. I knew I had to get through school. That was important to my parents and to myself. I knew there were aids, so there were things that I had to get done. There were chores I had to do at the house. There were many, many things. Life had to go on, and so I just dealt with the tasks and things at hand, and tried to deal with the feelings and emotions along the way as best as possible.
So you've spoken about how you had support from your parents. What were your major support systems throughout this?
I'm so glad you asked. It brings me joy. So my family was a big one.
Right.
The best advice that my mother ever got was to never treat her blind children as if they couldn't do anything. Let them be responsible for things.
Which is obvious by all that you are engaged in.
Yes, there's nothing I haven't tried. I've even climbed into my apple tree, and when I had an apple tree once, and pruned it, you know.
Good for you.
So, yeah, it's kind of, there's a lot that I give everything a shot. Just try things out.
Right. So do you find it easy to communicate what you're going through? When did you start to feel like you were pretty confident in what you were feeling and you could communicate that?
It's hard to say when exactly.
Right. Well, tell me about CNIB, Canadian National Institute for the Blind. How did that enter into your life?
When I first moved up to Canada 11 years ago, I connected with them a little bit, but they...
For support?
For support.
Okay.
Because I came from the United States, and I was given orientation and mobility. So when I was younger, about age... I went to a boarding school, and so I gained a lot of skills there. That helped me, so I could learn how to be blind, but also I had to get schoolwork done and continue with my education.
Right.
And even I learned how to take public transportation. So I took those skill sets, and those were able to transplant up into Canada.
Okay.
But then I reached out to CNIB and said, hey, show me what I'm missing. And I found out I was pretty spot on and didn't need much assistance. But most recently, it was a little over a year ago, I had gone to a town hall meeting with the executive director of the CNIB. As they're known for, that's their short, acronym.
Right.
But I asked them about carpool afterwards, because I own a piano tuning business, and I'm like, how do I get out and about and travel to these different places?
Right.
And what I got in reply via an email with their communication was, do you want to be an ambassador? And I was like, carpool and ambassador, they're two different things.
This is true.
It's true. Yeah, I'm like, how did we get from ambassador to, okay.
They must have felt what many of us feel, your
Yeah.
ability to just go forward and
I mean, I
challenge
was
yourself.
offering, sorry, talking over you.
Not at all. Go ahead.
I did talk with the executive director about, well, have you thought about these different ideas? And I know you can't copyright them and can't do things the same as like what they do in the States or
Okay.
over in England when I visited, or
Right.
so I'm sure so basically they saw in me what I hadn't yet seen truly in myself. I've caught glimpses.
Right.
So what CNIB has done for me
Yeah.
is help pull me out of the constant problem-solving mode, being vigilant, always feeling like I had to be prepared to be to be out in social circumstances.
Right. That's wonderful.
And so, yeah,
It's been a really great program for you.
yeah.
And we'll come back and you can tell
Yeah,
people how to get in touch that may need to. But right now, because I know you personally for
Yes.
the last year or two,
Yes.
I know that you're faith-centered. So how did faith come in to your life to heal, to help you heal?
It's been at the core. When my world changed with my visual impairment and I was at the boarding school, I tried not living my faith, going, well, my parents aren't here. I don't have to do everything.
Okay.
Right? They're not here to watch this. I don't have to go to early morning class seminary,
Right.
I don't have to do those things. But then I realized I liked it. I wanted to do that and be a member of my church and actively keep that going. And so
Right.
I learned that, that God was there for me and he was steady even when my world was not.
Oh, that's a beautiful truth.
And I've had times that I've been mad at him and didn't talk
That's
to
okay.
him.
He has big shoulders.
He does. He's amazing for that. He's been a good listener. He's been pretty steady and
Right.
pretty patient with me. He's also, over the years, we've honed this relationship
Yeah.
where, I can pray and just talk to him, and he offers people, places, resources that show up in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even this opportunity. I mean, I spent the whole last year going, it was actually being an ambassador was God's answer to my question.
Okay.
I said, well, if it's not a counselor that I need, what do I need?
Right.
Because I learned that I hadn't felt and dealt with my emotions regarding my vision loss.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's been 25 years, but I hadn't truly felt it and accepted it. And so I was like, how do I go about doing that? And then the ambassador program came along, and it was like, you want me to go public, give presentations, talk about my visual impairment story?
Right. I'm going to have to face that story from a deeper level.
We have to actually look at this. So,
Yeah.
which has then prepared me for this opportunity when you presented that.
wonderful.
And it's just the right time, and I'm so grateful for
Well, we're so
that
happy
pivotal moment.
to have you and have your perspective and your hope. To feel your hope. In the times that I've known you or been around you, I see you living that, honoring yourself purposefully every day. And so you feel like you're coming to your purpose every day, don't you?
I do.
As you go through these open doors and windows to be an advocate.
It is. I advocate
Yes.
for myself, and I recently realized I need to advocate further for myself, and I need to learn more things like Braille, and I need to...
So true. So true.
I'm at the time where I need to get
Right.
a refresher course on using my white cane. So,
Oh, your cane.
Yeah.
You wanna show us your cane?
I do.
You
Yeah,
walk
where did?
with a
Oh, there
cane?
she is.
She's a she.
I named her.
Okay. What's her name?
Her name is Jane.
Jane.
That was the name of my very first
My walking cane. Jane,
Jane,
my
my
walking cane.
She is kind of fun, though. Recently,
Oh,
her
wow.
tip fell off and rolled to the front of the bus once. And I was like, oh, yeah, I haven't yet properly attached the tip. I just shoved it in there.
That would have been so fun when I was young. I used a brush
Yeah.
to sing into. That would have been perfect.
It is pretty great. I mean, I gave it to my 10-year-old neighbor, and he's like, I won't show it because that's not how you're supposed to use a cane. But yeah, he would just winging it around, and like,
Right.
I have to find myself, no, you hold it while you're waiting. I know you're bored. Don't fling it around like being on the flag team. This isn't a broom.
So it's
Yeah.
not a weapon also then?
It's not a weapon, no.
Okay.
It's just a tool to show people that, hey, I can't see
Yeah.
really well, and I might need assistance
Right.
if I ask,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, this is Jane the cane.
That's a support, and you have some other support
I
characters
do.
here you'd like
Yes.
to share with us?
I do. We'll just put Jane on the floor. She rolls back
I can
and
hold
forth.
Jane.
Would you hold
I've
Jane?
never held Jane before.
No, she's really fun. She's got a rolling tip, and she's good. This is the better tip to go over. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've learned
I
so
was
many more
thinking
things
that.
about them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, depends on the feedback and the sound and the terrain, which you kind of need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's so much more out there than I'm
Right.
exploring and learning.
about.
But I brought Santa Bear. He's
Okay.
it's from my great grandma.
Aw. What's his name?
He's actually from a show called, it's like Santa Bear's First Christmas
Oh,
or something.
So he's
from
just
a-
Santa Bear.
His name is Santa Bear.
Santa Bear.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I always pull him out because he's tradition, and my younger sister and I had one, and we always used to watch the shows together.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, at Christmas time, I always pull him out, and I'm able to just put a smile on my face and just have family
Aw.
close, even though I know
Yeah.
now we're all over the place.
Right.
And that
Right.
family was supportive to each other because my mother was a
Yeah.
good listening ear. My dad was, you know, always faith-based, you know.
Right. Wonderful.
So yeah, so it's really fun. Keeps the family close.
Good. Thank you for sharing your little Santa Bear and your
Yeah.
Jane Cane.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about CNIB and what support it offers. And
Yeah.
what you as an ambassador.
What do I get to do? I get the
Yeah.
privilege of talking to people. That's what I get to do.
So you share a couple minutes of that with us.
Yes, I
and-
can. So I volunteer with the Canadian National Institute for the Blind.
Mhm.
And they do partner with the Vision Loss Rehabilitation Center. So there are some things they used anyway. So the simplified version,
I'm sure. Yeah.
There's
it's very detailed.
there's a lot that they
Right.
can do. So you go to the Vision Loss Rehabilitation
Okay.
for your beginning services. So you're like adapting at home and your
And this is just if you start losing sight, right? It's not, you don't have to be blind or legally blind. It's for anybody who needs support in their sight, in losing their sight at some level. Is that right?
I'm not sure about the vision loss rehabilitation, but I know for CNIB you need to be
Oh, do you?
legally blind.
Okay. Well, that's something to know.
Yeah.
Legally blind. All right.
Yeah, so they help out with like they help teach Braille. They do the higher technology when it comes to assistive tech, magnifiers, different things like that.
Right.
They support peer groups. So once a month, down here in Lethbridge, we have a thing called the Sunshine Social,
Okay.
and we get together, and then the Lions Club hosts it. But the CNIB has paid the cost to rent the room every month.
Okay.
So
Nice.
they're supportive of peer groups and
Right.
kind of that kind of thing. So they're a little bit more advanced. But my
Right.
job as an ambassador is to talk to people, give presentations,
Okay.
be a person that can answer those questions
Right.
that, you know, it's like you
Right.
really want to talk to that blind person about
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get like yelled at or like you're just not sure if that's okay. And so I offer that place in a presentation or even on a day-to-day basis
Okay.
in stores where people can ask their questions.
Very good.
In fact, if I don't make time for that,
Mhm. You're not doing your job.
I'm not doing my job. Even before I became an ambassador,
Right.
I was always being asked questions, and I never
Right.
truly felt comfortable figuring out how to back
Yeah.
out of them.
Yeah.
It's
now
like,
you
I've
have a
got
bit of a
places to
title.
go. Now I've got a title, and I can do some amazing things and
Yeah.
take initiatives, and
Yeah, that's great.
so I really like it.
Why don't you let us know how to contact you?
Okay.
And
Yeah, so CNIB.org is a great place to start, and
okay,
yeah,
That'll-
as far as- that'll get to the
that'll-
basic website,
right.
and then after that, like, if you go to the ambassador program, then they'll connect. Yeah, you have to
Right.
message CNIB, and then they'll be
Right.
able to reach me through there.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
So-
Well, it was so nice to chat with you and hear your story. And again, it is another loss, isn't it? Just tell
It
me,
is.
maybe just quickly,
Sure.
what it feels like at times when you can't see all the Christmas lights in the same way we can. And is there
Yeah, it's
feelings around that?
You know, it is. Even though Christmas lights on a house become a blur, and they don't have real distinction.
Right.
You know, it is really sad that I can't see, but it helps other people practice their description skills.
Yeah, true.
You know,
Right.
I do a lot of, yeah, I believe you. But it is really sad that I can't see some of those things.
Yeah.
But I
You stay positive.
I embrace the
hopeful.
feelings.
Yeah. Good. Embrace the feelings.
And yeah, so
Move forward.
yeah, I stick with the traditions like every year. I bake sugar cookies with my mother.
Right.
So we stick to that, and
Yeah.
I learned how much audio. I listened to everything audio. I actually heard when she splashed too much
Oh,
seasoning. I didn't realize that my
Right.
brain was that attuned to that it
Yeah.
would interpret that. But she accidentally, thinking there was just a little hole on this extra, what do you call those?
sorry.
I can see the thing. I see
You
the
see it
thing.
in your mind's eye.
Flavor. It was a flavoring.
Okay. Right.
And we were flavoring the dough, and she sloshed it.
Oh, and you
and
could
I
hear.
heard it cascade through all the little nooks and
Okay.
crannies of like the dough on the hook when it was in
Right.
the
Right.
mixing bowl, in the KitchenAid mixing bowl. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool how it cascades down. But I do everything a lot more
Yeah.
audio. So I audio capture.
Your
so
other
that's-
senses come to surface when you have a weakened sense.
It is. So I take in the season through smells, which is why I enjoyed the sugar
Oh.
cookies, and
Nice. Right.
by sound. So like the music or the crunch of the snow, or
Beautiful.
just the laughter and sounds of my friends. You know,
Right.
it's through a lot of those other senses.
Yeah.
And all the soft blankets. I can't forget that. I always love to touch the soft blankets.
Soft blankets. They're getting fleecier and fleecier.
Oh,
They're
they are.
so soft. Well, thanks again for joining us.